right, and I am live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday morning from Las Vegas, Nevada. I hope that your Thursday is off to a banging start. Ooh. It is coffee time. Let me do a live chat check here. Live chat, there we go. Good morning. Good morning, Kim. Nice to see you. Winky, nice to see you. Good morning to you. Always honored to see Kim in here and my gal Winky. Nice to see you. Good morning, Karina. Good morning, Scottish. Nice to see you. Yeah, I had a rockin' good sleep last night. I'm not sure. I guess we got back from the stream. Hey, Shamaj. Hey, Valerie. We got back from the stream about 2 a.m. and I slept in till 9 today. Dee, how you doing? On lunch, just wanted to say hi. How you doing, darling? Good morning to you. Good morning, Scott. Lee Wanderer, hello. Nice to see you. Wait a couple more minutes, let things fill up a little bit here. I'm very excited today, guys. Very, very excited today. I'm going to be seeing one of my good friends, Line Screw 1, Andrew, who I've not seen in a couple of years. He's popped by the Rancho 2 years ago and overnighted with us. Probably won't go live, but I'll get some recorded video content to put up. Good morning, Dee. The Detroit Crusher is here. There we go. The weather is pretty good. Good morning, Joey D. It's got some cloudiness today and some sunshine. It's about 70, 75 degrees right now. Perfect weather. Yeah, we got the Detroit Crusher in the house. Good morning, Miss Kitty. The real DJ Fruit Loops. Good morning to you. That's very interesting. I got my Chooching buddy D in here, and I think it's very cool that D, I really enjoyed your last upload. You gave your van tour. Good morning, matey. You gave your van tour on there, and you were very honest. It's a tough adjustment to go to van life. And, you know, if you're making good coin like you're making now, and you may actually be more comfortable in a studio, you know. And I don't know what studios run down in the Dallas, Texas area. Hey, Diane, good morning to you. Not yet, honey. I got a zillion emails I got to get through. Apologies to you. I was watching the kitchen remodel. But yeah, I left a comment on that. I called the Team D over there doing the kitchen remodel for Vegas Vixen. The guy's got skills. The guy's got definite great skills. And, you know, D's not a small guy. Yeah, that's not bad, 500. If you can get a studio for about 500. And it seems like you really like Dallas down there, and that's pretty cool. So, like I said, but D's a big guy. He's something over 6 feet 2 inches, and it's very difficult to think about being in a regular van, sleeping and functioning in a regular van. So I think if you're my size, about 5'6", then it's a different story to be able to do that. You'd be surprised, just something like stretching out. You know, you look at that space, like when I originally bought Little Rascal 2, the van I have now, I looked at the space. I laid side by side with Missy Jenn. We're like, oh, this'll work well. Let me see, who did I miss? Miguel, how you doing? Stranger Things on Netflix. I looked at that and okay, Diane. I looked at that. And I thought this is going to be great for 2 people to travel, and then I didn't figure the dog, Georgie, traveling with us. And first time we overnighted, I just knew this wasn't going to work. And you know, Missy Jenn's not really into the RV van life anyway. So sometimes you can look at the space and say that'll be perfect, but you got to get all your gear in there, and you got to be able to sleep comfortably, and you have to have your element of stealth. So I'm the, you know, Dee's a very watchable person. Insane Chef put up a video cooking for he and Black Bigot on the channel, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So this is a guy with a very high degree of responsibility and is a very hard-working guy. If you haven't seen Vegas Vixen, her channel, you can see some of the work that he did on the kitchen remodel there, and he's very skilled. He could be on my crew anytime. Yeah, Missy Jenn's a girly girl, right? She wants to migrate more into the beauty community, and that's great. I love that. You know, she needs a pretty hotel room, exactly. Me, I can be behind a bush somewhere in a cardboard and feel okay. We can't all be the Rosie girl. This is like the most perfect weather morning here today. Light breeze, unbelievably nice out here. What kind of coffee? I'm not sure, Scott. It's not Tim Hortons, I can tell you that. It's whatever they're throwing down in this establishment here. But Missy Jenn was a trooper, but I made sure when we were on our 10,443 mile journey in February, March of 2018, morning, I made sure that Missy Jenn was in a nice hotel, usually Hyatt Places every single night. Why do I say Hyatt Places? Because they give you breakfast. They give you a real nice breakfast in the morning too. In most of the places, so I wanted to make sure that she was very comfortable that whole trip, because we were going from hotel to hotel and city to city. I mean, we did 10,443 miles in 17 days. Hey Yasmin, how you doing, sweetie? And that was a lot, so I had to make sure that she was happy. But I'm saving so much money now. This is a little different because of the hotels.com, and the fact that if you accumulate like 10, for every 10 nights they give you a night free, and I'd accumulated a lot of them over the last year and a half or so with various trips to Las Vegas, so that saved me a lot of money. You might be hearing they're going to be grinding up some branches over here. I'm not sure. They're always busy here. Are you going to visit the pawn store? Again? Yeah, again. Good morning. How are you? Say hi to YouTube. Everybody knows me here. It's funny. Let's see, once use the ocean to clean up after camping in my car. Yeah, no more. You don't want to use, you want to get that salt water. Hey Monique, is Monique in here? Nathan, how you doing, sweet? There's Monique. How you doing, baby doll? Yeah, I miss Monique, but she's a hard-working gal. She's the yellow rose of Texas down there. So, yeah, I made sure Missy Jenn's traveled in style, and that she was very comfortable, as comfortable could be, but you know, it gets to be a drag. Sandy Callie, how you doing, honey? Honey, we popped into room 20 last night. Well, we got the royal boot from the manager at the Oasis. Good morning, Marshall. Good morning. We got the royal boot last night from the Oasis Motel at what was her name? Sarabja and Carr was there at the Oh, I see another yellow rose.
Motel.
Yeah. She was like, "What are you doing?" Hey, Dawn. But right next to her was a working gal, right under the shade of the.
Yeah, can you move that a little bit?
Which way? This way?
Yeah.
Push it up.
Let me just make more space here. I'll have more sitting space. There you go.
There you go. All right. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Harvey, I got your email. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. I just can't tear into it right now on all this stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Now you're going to hear a little bit of noise. I'm going to go grab a cup, refill on the coffee. They're going to grind up some branches for a minute. They'll turn it off. Got your epic chooch.
Yeah. Dream Chooch. Good morning from Sin City. Hold on, I gotta do this. Hold on, guys. Listen to this. Ladies and gentlemen, Good Morning America. I gotta do this, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the Queen of Boy Chooching, I give you Good Morning America. Here's Rosie.
I remember buttermilk.
We're starting our day here. And last night was the greatest Las Vegas Rosie Elvis Chooch of all time. Almost 5 hours of driving around this city and showing all of you what Las Vegas is all about. And it was my idea. I've always liked driving chooches over walking chooches for the simple fact is you can cover so much area in a short period of time. And as a nomad and as a YouTube content creator, I can learn more about whatever respective city that I'm in if I drive chooch as opposed to walk chooch. And a lot of you people might say that you enjoy the Rosie O'Kelly walking chooches more because she interacts with the street people. That might be true, but the bottom line is you can do that also in a driving chooch. Find an area that's interesting, park your vehicle, and you can go down a walk stream and talk to people. But the bottom line is we've covered a lot more ground.
It got loud. Every time I come out, these leaf blowers.
We should probably move back to the pool, I guess. I don't know.
This is all right. They're just about done over there.
Oh, okay.
I got all that noise over there.
Yeah.
You never know. These guys are always very busy here. All right. What did I miss this morning? Danny Kohler Counts Customs. What is Counts Customs? Is that like a... what is Counts Custom? I'm not sure, Sandy. Room 20 still look. We rolled into the Oasis.
Yeah. Jordy was watching last night.
We rolled into the Oasis, and I got an immediate, really bad vibe right there. The place is in worse shape, if you can imagine it. The place is in even worse shape now. That motel. You can check it out on the video. It was. I don't know. It looked like they moved rocks around the parking lot and stuff. I mean, it was weird.
It was creepy when you could look into the room. The room 20 had a curtain on there, like a bloody curtain.
Yeah.
But the next room next to it was kind of open, and it was a pretty creepy vibe in there. Yeah.
Anyway, I looked at that and I just thought I don't think I can spend a night in this place. It's just too. I asked Marshall, says he can sometimes get a sense of bad energy.
Yeah, there's definitely some bad energy. Yeah.
And the whole place is so run down.
Rory was watching last night.
Yeah.
He said he fell asleep at a point. I said, where? He said, man, I fell asleep at the point when I got out at Circus videotaping the RV park. He says that's the time that he fell asleep. He said I heard Rosie say, press 69 if we should leave Marshall here.
I did that before back in 2015. I think first time we went to Vegas. Bobby, Missy Jenn, and I, we pretended we were going to take off and leave Marshall at the Sunset, the Sahara RV dealership here. I got that video, and he came out of it. You never panicked. You knew I figured he would find his way. He would find his way back over there. Let me advance the chat here. Yeah, I don't know. Good morning, Beaches Life. If I missed anybody, no, Monique, it's not. I can't physically stay in there. I feel such a bad vibe when I get close to that. Every time I turn into there, maybe because it's so run down.
Right.
It looked like they weren't trimming the palm trees. The stuff was just dropping all over the parking lot. And if you own that motel, the Oasis, where two famous people committed suicide. The number one guy was the most legendary gambler in the history of poker. You know, this guy won $12 million over the course of his career, and he ended up with $800. I don't know. He had a really bad drug problem and stuff. So that's a lot of money. Good morning. We got Bella Rose, the Queen of Buffalo. How are you?
Hey, Bella.
Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up today. And if you own that motel, you know how many people like us roll through and walk through there that do those tours, and it must get tiresome.
Well, it's kind of a when you come to Vegas, you see a lot of tourists in the tourist areas. You don't see the areas that me and Rosie went to off the beaten path. People are focused
Julie,
to go to a certain area here in Vegas and do the touristy stuff. So
yeah, that's well off the beaten path. You will never see live chat. You'll never see tours really, unless they're ghost tours. And this is probably the time of year. Let's face it, in October. And we're now in the second half of October, where you have a lot of people going to cemeteries. You have a lot of people out at going on those kind of places. Yeah, take care, Terry. So, you know, I mean, Sandy Callie and my Texas crew down there, they've issued this standing challenge to spend a night at that place. But I surveyed it last night, and I just started freaking out again, and I couldn't wait to get out of that. I couldn't wait to get out of that place. Let's see. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate that. She said I have a bare spot showing in the air. Good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be meeting up with, not sure if Marshall's going to go or not. It'll be his choice. He has an invitation to go. We have the meetup today, so I'm looking forward to meeting him. But I want to focus on last night a little more before I get to that. I have communicated with Lions Crew. We've had each other's phone numbers for years. As you know, he came down and spent an overnight at the Rancho. It seems as though they invite. It may be Monique, but I thought it was strange. Yeah, it was a great chooch last night too. We're going to get into that in a minute. But I thought it was strange that they still rent that room out. I would have taken the number off and just made it a utility closet or something like that. I don't know. Because the rooms are really old. How you doing, Leslie? The rooms are really old. They're really run down. You know, the windows haven't even been changed out. They got the original like 1950s crank open windows.
Yeah.
I think on that
Yeah.
on that place. Now, once again, I got to give credit where it's due. And Marshall, you know, I never really do big rolling around chooches. We've done many in Chicago, in Detroit, I think Milwaukee. We've done a few rolling around tours, the good and the hood, and I did enjoy them at the time.
Yeah.
And I think last night when Marshall said, "Hey, let's get in the car and drive around," I got to give you credit. It turned out to be an epic shoot.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff in there.
And I think we covered something like 60 miles out there last night.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mileage to be out there rolling around. 60 miles last night. We went all the way out to Boulder Highway, almost to Henderson, Nevada.
Yeah.
Down there, and then through downtown. And I'll tell you, it was I had a good time. Anything surprise you about last night? To me, the surprise was Boulder Highway would go from good to bad to good to bad to good to. It would have all these.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that, but one thing I wanted to say.
There you go, Monique.
I just got off the phone with Narsa. I was talking to him, and what I noticed last night, you saw all these big buses that were going to the airport, and I said to myself, man, if Narsa loves the driving job, Vegas is the place to be. You can get a driving job in a heartbeat here. You know, drive, because you imagine him driving these big buses.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't like Vegas traffic. And he says, there's no water there, man. It's all chemically treated water. And he's like, I like the water. He's like, in Florida we have Zephyr Hills. And I'm like, well, why don't you get a boat? He's like, that's expensive. But the point is that if somebody is a CDL driver, a professional driver, there's so many jobs over here,
yeah,
driving jobs, and you can get a driving job here easy and make some good money. For all of you truckers or CDL drivers out there, Vegas is the place to be for a driving job. There's so many jobs.
I should hang a sign here in the morning. Morning shoot sponsored by D-Dubs Fence here.
If you have a CDL, that's what surprised me a lot about Vegas. I mean, there's just a lot of driving jobs, a lot of them, you know.
Yeah.
They're plentiful, you know. And I just thought
I
about
think it's a burnout job. I think the traffic, especially if you're doing an airport run, then you know everybody. I go down Paradise to the airport, and everybody is on your bumper.
Everybody,
you know what I mean? They are
very
pushing
aggressive,
you along. Even though you're going 35 miles, the bus drivers are still laying on the horn for you to go faster. I don't think I could go down and run that airport job all the time. The traffic's too aggressive here in Las Vegas.
Right.
You know, talk to Mr. Z about traffic in Vegas when he goes from one job site and then over to the other side of the valley for another.
But being an Uber driver here in Vegas, obviously you can make a lot of money. There's a lot of people coming through here. This is a place to make some money with the driving job, with an Uber.
Oh, okay, Scott.
With an Uber vehicle. So driving jobs are really good here in Vegas. If you're into driving, you know, you can make a lot of money.
I'll tell you, Lotus Blossom last night. Lotus Blossom said, I did Google Sunset Motel, and that same chain came up, kind of bleak looking. Thanks for the chooch. It was interesting.
Yeah. So,
that was without a doubt the most bleak.
But one
motel.
thing about last night, driving on Tropicana off of the Strip, I was surprised to see so many Mexicans, Latino people living there. There's a lot of Colombian, Peruvian, Mexican food. There's a lot of Venezuelan. There's a lot of authentic Latino food here off the beaten path, and that was just Tropicana. We really didn't have a chance to check Sahara and many of the other streets. But there's a really good ethnic food scene outside of the Strip.
That was eye-opening. To me, and it made me think. Next time I come back to Vegas, I want to. I definitely boondock, but I would concentrate on like the ethnic food scenes down on Boulder Highway. You know, I'd make it like a sampling tour of. I wouldn't be on the Strip or downtown at all. In other words, I'd be in other areas.
Yeah.
Doing that.
and eating the authentic food that they have
Yeah.
to offer.
Oh,
But
happy
you-
birthday, Carolyn! Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry, Marshall. Go
The
ahead.
problem with Vegas is with the boondocking, it's a lot of it is dangerous. You have to
Good luck with that, D.
you have to find a safe area, and that's quite a challenge. Large parts of this city are dangerous to boondocking.
Yeah, well,
So-
I think that'd be interesting. 'Cause, the one good thing about Marshall is he encourages it to go below the surface of his city and not just be tied to Fremont Street and the Strip. Because
Yeah.
let's face it, this is a huge city. Okay.
Huge city.
And it has, you know, you saw the big Mexican population areas, which is not unusual because this is a service city.
Service city, yeah.
They need a lot of hands here. They don't need a lot of managers. You know, a
Right.
little management goes a long way.
Right.
But it's definitely a service industry
Yep.
here. Oh, thank you, Francis. I feel good today. I actually slept till 9. Nobody was jumping off chairs in the room above me.
I think the economy here in Vegas is strong. I think a lot of people came from California to work over here.
Yeah.
There's money to be made here. If you want to make money, you want to get a job. I think it's easy to get a job in Vegas, any kind of
Yeah,
job.
Carolyn says it's changed from 42 years ago. I can tell it's changed from 20 years ago.
And they keep on adding and building. The economy here is very, you see them building buildings all the time, construction all the time.
Scottish says, would love to hear you all talk more about safety in Las Vegas.
There's
Any
a lot
thoughts
of
on safety in Las Vegas?
there's a lot of dangerous areas here. There's a lot of people out on the street. There's a lot of people on drugs.
Chuck, relay the story at when we came to that light with the motorcycle.
Oh,
Yeah,
we came to a 7-Eleven
on Boulder Highway up there.
on Boulder Highway, and that could have been Lamb Street. It could have been Lamb. I'm not sure. And there was a bus stop there, and there was 3, 4, maybe 4,
Well,
5.
I think first I went into I rolled into the
Yeah,
7-Eleven.
Rosie rolled into the 7-Eleven, and there's this one transvestite there, just hollering at the top of her lungs, and she's all cracked out, you know, methed out. And
I'm like, no way.
and Rosie's like, look at her, man, she's just standing there. and all of a sudden behind her there was like 4 or 5 older guys, crackheads, just hanging out there. And we pulled in, and
How
all
you
of a
doing,
sudden,
Missy Jenn?
and all of a sudden, the guy that looks like Gary Gamachi, one of my biker trolls that lives in Prescott, Arizona, classic handlebar mustache Harley guy, he pulls up to the light, and the crackhead transvestite was trying to throw something at the Harley Davidson guy, so like a rock or something.
It was
And
getting scary.
the guy was like looking at her with the
Now,
death stare.
normally
on
the
his
guy
head.
might have gotten off of his bike,
Yeah.
but he happened to look over behind the bus stop, and there was a gang of 5 or 6 guys that were hanging out around the
Yeah.
bus behind the.
Yeah.
Okay, Missy Jenn got back from the doctor. Oh, good. Glad to hear it, honey. Now, somebody asked today.
Yeah.
Scottish asked,
Yeah.
not so much safety of Las Vegas, but what is your protocol for finding a boondocking? How do you stay safely and pick an area like in Las Vegas? What would you do?
I always go on Google it or Wikipedia, but Google's better because they update the demographics on the city as opposed to the census that they have on Wikipedia. And I always look at the poverty level and what kind of people are living in the area before I boondock there. Rosie doesn't do that. She just drives there and wants to see what happens, and she happened to see IRC Bully in Milwaukee, and that gave her a wake-up call. If that doesn't give her a wake-up call, then. But I always do my research on demographics, on poverty,
Bella, how you doing?
on the type of people that are living there, and it'll never fail you. The demographics never fail.
Okay, so
But,
once you get, so first you'll come to Vegas. Let's say you find Summerlin or Henderson is a good area for boondocking. What's your next step after that?
Well, this is the confusing thing about it. You might find an area that has good demographics, but right along the edge of that area could be bad. So it's very confusing. You have to really okay, this is my opinion. If somebody's going to find a boondocking spot, don't do it in the nighttime. Because sometimes it's so dark. you can't even see the residential neighborhoods and the slums. You won't be able to really observe the area.
Plus, you'll look creepy if you're just going slow down streets and things.
Exactly, you look suspicious. So I highly recommend anybody who's boondocking in the nomadic life, do it in the daytime, so you can see the area, what's around you, so you can see if it really is good or bad. Because you might be in a good area, but you could be right on the edge of a bad area, and that's how Las Vegas is. Like a lot of cities, it could be a really bad area, then it turns good. So that's the thing about it. Now, people, I like to drive around in the nighttime because there's no traffic, but I've had to pay the price a lot for that boondocking in an area that I thought was good, but ended up not being good because it was
Four Scores. How you doing?
uh,
Halfway there. There you go. Four Scores is halfway here.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we're all gonna be doing some type of get together tomorrow night. Four Scores. So could be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, can I finish the 7-Eleven story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, anyways, Rosie pulls in, and this crackhead starts to throw these rocks at the Harley Davidson guy, and this Harley guy is giving her like a death stare, you know, like. And then I'm like, hey, Rosie, she's throwing these rocks, and Rosie's like, she better not hit my van, brother. And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna stop her. Let me get out of here. And then we ended up stopping at this other gas
Went
station.
further up the highway there too.
Well, there was a security guard there that was,
which was still a tough.
day. Yeah. And we saw a motel with 2 security guards at one motel. I've noticed, and this is okay. Now this is what
Thank you, Hectic.
This is what Las Vegas reminds me of. It reminds me of a lot of Little Rock, Arkansas, or it reminds me of Albuquerque, New Mexico. When I went into a motel there, and there was like 2 armed security guards. And when you see that, they try to control the people that are in the motels and going in and out of the motels. You know it's really bad. And we saw that in Las Vegas. We saw that when you have a guard at a convenience store like 7-Eleven or a motel, you know it's really, really bad. Just like when we went to Chicago, we saw the armed guards on Madison Street. So
and who rolled up on us last night again? Mark Handler rolled up right in the parking lot at the Circle K there. The security guard was pretty funny. They're really nice.
Yeah, the security guard was a handsome African American man, and he was looking at Rosie, and Rosie's like, I was trying to ask him stuff about security, and he was looking down at Rosie's boots like, yeah, I like your bed back there, yeah. And I was like, you want to come and see? And then he was like,
hey,
so he was checking out Rosie. He was probably thinking that Rosie's got jungle fever, but he doesn't know that Rosie prefers white meat.
I like everybody. If the person's fun, I take everybody as an individual.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Okay, so it turned out to be a really great. We also managed to capture the strip. I thought that was really nice, running up and down.
Lights, yeah.
The strips, the lights. You'll be able to see that on the video. I think that's bringing real good content. That ride down there.
Yeah.
Because it's stop and go. And you want to show the things on the side, but you got to be aware you're driving a vehicle in traffic, heavy traffic. So you got to be awful careful driving down. So, but it turned out real good. The strip. Let's see. Otis has a great friend of mine, lives in a nice area, St. Louis on the line, but he got pistol whipped and carjacked last week by 2 young thugs. Demographics from Wiki isn't the best way to determine a good spot. I don't know.
Demographics from Google are more updated because the wiki uses like the 2010 census. But the Google, if you say St. Louis, Missouri demographics on Google Chrome, it'll bring up a more updated statistics than Wikipedia. Wikipedia is nice. I've used it in the past, but it's not. They're using the 2010 census instead of. They haven't updated it yet.
Yep.
But it's most of the time it's never failed me. It's really been good, So.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing good, D, though. You're working hard. You're putting coin in your pocket. But is the Detroit Crusher missed on the streets? Yes.
The bottom line is with
I ground bagged one for you the other night, D.
The bottom line with demographics, I've noticed 2 things. The higher the area is with Asian people or white people, the better the area is. Those are the two keys that I'm going to give everybody. The higher, if you're going to boondock, the higher percentage of white people or Asian people, because they're the people that have the most money in America besides Jewish people.
Well, yes, I would go by a demographic. I would just look at it and say, for me, I would search crime, like crime statistics in a city.
Yeah.
And they have what's called a hot map, and it goes from like blue to red. You know, and the red is a real hot zone. And I would stay out of that. I would stay out of those areas. I'd no longer just indiscriminately. I would no longer indiscriminately just pull off like Milwaukee and say this will be cool over here.
Well, that's the thing with Rosie. You know, you have to do your demographics check, and she doesn't. She's just supposed to just.
Yeah, I let it fly, and I just think now the fun is in the exploration, but there's a point, and I think the crime map, the hot map, is a much better indicator of things for me. So that's, but I don't really do anything. Yeah, how you doing, Tim S? Nice to see you. So I think that using every city has what's called a crime hot map, and you can see that. And I looked at Oakland, which areas of Oakland, and all that. So, okay. Now, what else did we see on our adventure? We saw the Oasis. We did that long run on Boulder.
We saw some.
I don't know what that thing was in the sky. I guess it was a super high tower for the airport.
We saw some pretty cool art, some seedy motels. We saw some cool RV parks. One of them was nice. The other one was run down. That was pretty cool to see. That was a treat. And overall, we just got a good feel.
What do you think of the Sunset Motel? Was that like the first one we rolled in there? I mean,
Yeah.
The rooms looked like they were maybe 8 by 10 or something like that. It was unbelievable.
I think the thing with Vegas, it's laid out like a sprawling suburb type of. It's not really, once you get out of the strip, it's not really a walking city. It's more laid out like a rolling suburb with strip malls and stuff. So,
but the motel was really, I got a real bad vibe in that place. But it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see, to me, motels that are still holding on and still managing to function. Probably because they were built in the 50s when the land was cheap. There was nothing out on Boulder Highway down there. So
I think with the kind of content that Rosie likes to make, the walking content, she has to go to a walking friendly city like New Orleans, like Chicago.
Hey, Jen.
Like New York City, places with sidewalks, places where you have the apartments on the top and businesses on the bottom.
Yeah, Missy Jenn asked, how is downtown developing? There's a big wild card out there, and it's called Zappos. And Zappos was the guy that started, I think originally he started distributing shoes online. He was the first really big shoe online seller, and he sold his company to Amazon for $800 million. Okay, so this guy's got a ton of money, and he's slowly and methodically buying up properties on East Fremont Street, old hotels he owns, and apartment houses, empty commercial lots. And Jen, it's going to be interesting. What is this guy's plan? And a lot of people are talking about it that live in town. They're like, I wonder what this guy's going to ultimately do. Like they could, one morning you could wake up and just bulldozers go through and just level 3 square blocks of downtown, you know, the old building. And I suspect he may want to build the first downtown mega resort in downtown Las Vegas.
Right.
There isn't one down here.
There is one. Yeah.
Golden Nugget's kind of like the flagship property down here, but there is no big like mega casino with some huge must-see attraction that's going to bring you, that's going to be bringing you down here. Yeah, the little hotels are very homely. The apartment houses. I know Uber Goober really liked the Shangri-La, that place that was built in 1939 with the cottages. It just amazes me that a place that's 80 years old is still around.
I'll be back. I'm gonna get some more coffee.
No, I'm good.
I'll get some more coffee.
It amazes me. It's crazy that a place like that is still around and still going wrong. Yeah, let me reach out to Jen. Jen, my wonderful moderator. Jen, I know you've been battling that stomach issue for a week. I hope you're feeling better, honey. Love you to pieces, and I hope you're feeling. Hope you're on the mend. Because when Jen ain't around, it ain't a chooch. And I know she's had a tough go of it this week. So Missy Jenn, honestly, Missy Jenn, I had expected to see more of these empty buildings housing businesses in them. But in reality, what you have is properties that are just being bought and then warehoused down here. But you don't buy all these properties without some goal of redeveloping them, in my opinion. Because you can't. A lot of these old properties have asbestos and stuff, so you can't just willy-nilly tear them down. Insulation, asbestos insulation, furnaces. That's probably why that one pool got shut down, where Mr. Dirty came up on Elvis, Mark Handler, and I. That pool was closed down at that apartment complex, probably because they didn't close the pool during demolition work, and that's probably a requirement because of potential of carcinogenic matter being sucked into the pool or whatever. So no, it's not China. It's this guy named I don't know what his name is. Company's name Zappos, Zappos, and he's like the king of downtown here. Almost every property you look at, parking lots, everything is all owned by him. So the locals, the people that live down here on very limited income, they're nervous. And as the one guy told me when I was chooching, he's like, the poor man is always the last. I asked him what's going on down here with Zappos, and his answer was, the poor man is always the last one to know. And it's very true. Lead pipes in the water, yeah, lead pipes. That's terrible, lead pipes. If you're comfortable, yeah, no problem. I don't know if I could do that, Diane, to tell you the truth. I think I rode in the back before, actually. I think I rode in the back. So I don't know what's going on. You talk to the poor people that live down there, and they're able to get a room for $400 a month, and they're very worried if all those downtown apartment houses, the old ones from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, get taken down. Where are they going to go? The rents are going to get all jacked up in the new. Yeah, Tony Shee, the CEO of Zappos.
So Rosie, I was going to ask you a question. I know Rosie's not a driving chooch person. I encouraged her to do the driving chooch. I learned a lot from it. I enjoyed it. What did you learn about Las Vegas in this driving chooch that you really didn't know before? What did you get out of it? What did you learn about it? Did you learn something new that you didn't know before?
Yeah, the number one thing that I learned from that driving chooch was the epic size of this city.
Right.
I never imagined in my life that you could look across the valley to the north, to the east, to the south.
How spread out it is.
How spread out it is.
Right.
How enormous this city is.
Right.
And I thought to myself, what do these people do? They have to drive, 8 to 10 miles to get into, if they're on the strip or something like that. That was my number one takeaway, was how huge this city is. The size and scale of the city, yeah. It's a lot like LA. It's very, very sprawling. Okay, that was my number one takeaway. It's like I could have driven out Boulder Highway past Henderson and gone on, and you still would have had a lot of density.
Right.
Now we're talking about 10 miles. out there
Right.
that you could see across the valley there. So I never thought the city was this huge.
Right.
You know, but then you figure it doesn't have skyscrapers here because land was cheap. It's like LA, they just sprawled out to the.
It's not
to
like
the
Toronto
suburbs.
where it's all crammed
Number two on that driving chooch
Right.
was the epic number of small eateries
Small
and restaurants.
Amazing.
You know that they're cheap,
and
and
good.
you know you know that you can find every kind of else. You know, you can find Salvadoran, Guatemala,
Latin food,
Nicaragua. You can
Latin-
find any kind of
Latin food,
that you want out there. To me, that's intriguing. I mean, to
That
me,
was the
that's
most-
a week in Vegas.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
just the Latino food that you
yeah.
have to.
So if I came back here, that's what I would do. I would boondock in a month like October or March, something like that, and then be out exploring.
Or even November is a nice time to come. Probably November.
Let's see, how long ago was the murder? I'm not sure. You have to look up. I can't remember the guy's name now. The poker player. Not Stupak, but I can't remember the guy's name right now. But he was the greatest poker player of all time.
Is there anything else that you gained out of it?
That was number two.
Yeah.
The things to explore in the city that have nothing to do with, because I'm not a gambler.
Right.
You know, what do? I spend 5 minutes on the machine and that's it.
And you're out.
I'm out. Like last night, I was lucky enough. I put 20 in after we ate dinner. Mark Handler paid it forward with dinner last night. I put 20 into the machine and I was lucky. I immediately pounded 98. I cashed out 98, so I made $78. That was it for the night.
Rosie knows when to quit. Only one time she didn't know when to quit, and
the
she
night
lost.
before, I lost it all back. So there's number two. How you doing, Spanky?
Right.
There's number two.
Right.
Okay, the places to explore
Right.
here in town. So would you agree? Number one, the size. Number two, the places.
The size, and the Latin food options on Tropicana. I mean, that's just one street, man.
And you have Chinatown on Spring Mountain Road out that way, the Asian area.
Right.
I like to walk in chooches too, but I did get my eyes opened a little bit last night about a driving chooch because on foot I could never cover the amount of 60 miles we drove last night. There's just no way. And I would not have the appreciation I have sitting here this morning talking about.
Now you know you can go walk chooch on Tropicana and check out all the. You can go there in the daytime and go walk chooch there and check out all the places.
So that was a really
It
good
gives
idea.
you more ideas for walk chooch once you see everything, you know, like the preliminary.
Oh, the
else?
gambler that committed suicide was Stu Unger, Unger.
When did he commit suicide?
I think it was sometime in the 90s or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. IRC, what's going on, IRC?
So what else did you get out of it, Rosie? What else did you get out of it?
That's two big ones right there.
Definitely, yeah.
Number three is how a major highway, let's face it, Boulder Highway is a long,
yeah.
You know, you're talking about something we traversed like maybe 15 miles. How the areas changed back and forth. They flip-flop from nice areas to crap areas to nice areas to
what about all the RV parks?
Yeah.
The RV parks.
Number four, the number of RV parks and the number of RV dealers here. Even though you don't see them in town, you'll see the odd camper van around or the Super B, but you don't see a lot of big Class A's.
Right.
You don't see fifth wheels driving through town.
A lot of them are parked in RV parks. So is there anything else that sticks out that you?
Let me see what the other one. I'm pooping in. Okay, got to make that coin. All right, D, love you. Take care. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, driving around to scope things out handy. Spanky is a great thing to do. So the number three would be the variability in the areas that we went through.
Right.
Number four,
the variability of like you say, of being safe and not safe. And,
Number four,
income levels
would be that there's a place for everybody and every budget in this city. Okay, I don't care
if you can't find it in Vegas, you're not gonna find it anywhere.
We rolled into that one RV park and it looked like nobody had maintained anything for years on their rigs, but right next door we saw
a really nice
one with everybody had fifth wheels and
nice
they were
rigs,
really nice modern rigs, and then we came into that other park. So that told me that there's a place and a budget for everybody
income level,
in
yeah.
Las Vegas here, which I thought was pretty cool.
Right.
Okay. Some other takeaways that I would put on last night is that it's an easy city to negotiate, except around the airport. The airport's the hard part because the roads get cut off. Obviously, you have a big landing field. Tunnels, they got to go under the airfield or whatever, and it's very easy to get confused. And you pop out and you got no idea where you are.
The rest of the city is like a grid, and like
Yeah.
Rosie said, she looks at the strip and she knows which way to go. She negotiates without a GPS, without a compass, with just looking at the strip. Oh, I know to go this way because look, there's a strip. So, and it's all a grid, so it's very easy to get around.
Yeah, and the big thing is the stratosphere is always a landmark that
Right.
you can see from 25 miles away, way out on Boulder
Yeah.
Highway. And as long as you're pointing in the direction of the stratosphere, it's almost impossible to get lost.
Exactly.
In Las Vegas. So
Right.
that was pretty cool. Anybody have any? My Mustang pooping in and out. What is this? I don't know. Let's see. Anybody else? I missed. Okay, I don't think I missed any questions there.
I think, is there anything
Why
else?
don't you update your health for a minute?
Oh, my health. I'm recovering
I
pretty
didn't
good.
hear anything yesterday, so.
I'm recovering pretty good from my regular extractions, but my wisdom tooth, I'm getting better, but still it is healing. It's still pain back and forth, but it's getting much better, little by little. So it is a long recovery with this thing, with a wisdom tooth extraction. It really is.
You got used to it. Do you feel like you've lost weight in the last 3 weeks or so?
I think I've lost some weight. Yeah, I feel that I've lost some weight. Yeah, I have. I think I've lost some
Because
weight.
you've done a lot of walking, and it's I'm very active. And if you hang around with somebody who's very active, and I know it, like in Chicago and Florida, you would tend to be a person of routine.
Right.
You boondock in like an area, you would tend to stay around that area.
Right. I think with Rosie is that she's an active person, and she literally eats only one meal a day. So if you just eat, I had a medium-sized dinner. If you have one meal a day, which I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think that
Somebody asked if you feel better with the walks, or do you?
yeah. I sleep better. You sleep when you get a good workout in like that. You sleep better. You sleep deeper.
Hey, Cindy.
But
Nice to see you.
yeah, I mean it's. I think Rosie with the walk chooching.
Makeup free.
What's Rosie motivated me to do? I might have motivated Rosie to get into the van life. I think Rosie's kind of motivated me to do walk chooching because I never did much of that before. But I started doing it in Chicago little by little, the walk chooching. And
To me, it's addictive.
so it's you just kind of get used to it. You kind of you at first it's kind of odd, but then you do it and then you're like, hey, this is just normal. So now I'm kind of used to it and stuff. You just pull the camera out and just do it.
Yeah, I agree. He's lost quite a bit of weight, and plus, as he said, I don't eat a lot. I try to restrict to just one meal a day, and that would be it. And make sure you're exercising. Any final things on my list of last night? My takeaways. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
I think Rosie hit on all the bullet points. Those were the big bullet points.
Yeah.
Really, I would say the exact same thing. She hit it right on the head.
So
And,
I think when I come back again, which I will concentrate on chooching new areas.
And I think,
I'll always do a chooch to the cemetery or Fremont Street.
Right.
But to go chooching around like Charleston,
Exactly.
or
She could-
Maryland, or Tropicana.
Yeah,
places.
you could always have your standard routine of the hood chooching and cemetery chooching. But if you drive more of the area of Vegas and see more, then you can have a bucket list and say, now I can go walk on Tropicana. This is the Latin area. I can go walk, there's miles of that. Let me walk that. And then the more of you drive and see it, the more you can have stuff on your bucket list to add a variety. So it doesn't just be repetitive with the same area. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I like to do the same thing in Los Angeles to see what is it like? Where are the areas of where you can walk Chooch? Well, let's take a look at it and see. And that's what's interesting about driving. You survey the area and then you say, okay, this is where I'd like to go and do my walking Chooch.
Yeah.
You have more variety for your walking Chooches.
Well,
now you can walk Chooch Tropicana.
Yeah,
all day.
Tropicana.
So,
you can probably do the same with Flamingo. You can probably do the same with,
with
Spring
Sahara,
Mountain,
right?
and walk out to the Chinatown and that area over there.
So every
yeah.
day when you do a walking Chooch, it won't be repetitive where it's the same thing, where it's, you do a different walking Chooch every day in a different area to show people, you know.
Or
So-
driving, or driving.
Right.
Let's see. Educational stream. I've learned some things. I mean,
I
you
think
know, I've boondocked a lot with him, even though we never really boondock in the exact same. We're in the same area, but not the same place. It's been helpful stuff. I mean, last night was a positive experience.
yeah,
Generally, I've done the good in the hood, but I don't go out at nighttime to do that because you can't really see much during the nighttime, unless you're in a big city like Las Vegas that's lit up everywhere you go. Then you can see a lot of stuff,
Right.
and you don't want a lot of light. You want to see all the beautiful neon signs.
and
Oh, my allergy. Oh.
yeah, and like I said, with it's when you just concentrate, and I know Rosie likes the hood Chooching and the old buildings and talking to homeless people, but there's so much more to a city. Rosie could be Rosie O'Kelly, the City Guy channel. Let's show everything. Why just that? Let's show the different ethnic areas. Let's show the different nightlife areas. Let's show the whole city. And if
It would make it interesting.
if Rosie comes back to Vegas for 7 days, let Rosie choose a different area. She can walk Chooch till she's blue in the face 10 miles a day, but do a different area every
But
day.
I wouldn't do it alone unless it was daytime. You know, at daytime I would have no fear. Nighttime, there's a certain familiarity with some areas that go in the dark here, but I think it would be interesting.
Like right now it would be
yeah,
cool.
we did a good job.
Like right now, it'd be cool to go walk Chooch. I would go walk Chooch on Tropicana now because there's so many businesses to show, restaurants and in the daytime when they're open, and to give people a variety, because daytime Chooching is different than nighttime Chooching.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a kind of a partly cloudy day today.
Yeah, so
anyway, so I might take advantage. I might take advantage of that.
I think Rosie could be.
Boy, D, I'll tell you, last night we went out. I didn't think Vegas was big before until last night. And we ran Boulder Highway,
Right.
10 miles south. It was still going on big down there. This is a big
I
place.
learned a lot about Chicago because I used to drive around a lot. We learned a lot about Detroit. You just have to. It's just my opinion. I mean, you might be interested in one area, but it's nice to get a tour of it. I think it's really nice, you know. So-
Yasmin, we stopped by the. I drove past the Green Door, which is where it was like the adult club there. Just drove a drive-by there, and then we just popped into another lounge, and you were surprised it was 24 hours.
Right.
The place is open. So that was just a ride by, not really. I think we're trying to do the big night for Friday night to get.
And some of the working T-girls that were out there noticed that you were recording. They noticed that Rosie had a phone on there instead of a GPS, and they're like, "Hey guys, watch out! They're recording with the camera."
They were quick picking that up. I just had the thing mounted in the holder, and it's like, whoa, you know.
That was kind of funny.
That was kind of funny in there, but.
They let their homegirls know that we're recording.
That's like one of the weirdest malls, though. It's like a four-corner strip mall with tremendous parking in the middle, and I don't think they probably fill up 10% of the lot these days. And it's a very forlorn part of town off of Sahara. Over there. Let's see. We're doing good. No, I value the feedback of things.
I think if Rosie like would do this in every city, like say Los Angeles, if we did this in Los Angeles, and then we could get a notepad and write down, okay, let's see the whole city, let's see what it's all about. We could do a daytime driving chooch or nighttime. Then we can write down a bucket list. Okay, hey, you know what? Now that we saw everything, we can write down where we want to go.
Yep.
And we can walk chooch till we blue.
Check
out of our bucket, and we can walk chooch till we're blue in the face. But let's see the whole thing.
It's a good idea.
And then you know.
Well, I have learned some things. Last night was another bit of an eye opener, like I say to me. So I had fun. It ended up being, the time flew by. I don't know where 4 hours went last night. The time went like that. I mean,
it didn't feel even like 4 hours.
I didn't even feel like 4 hours, and we covered a lot of, saw a lot of sights.
Well,
we talked to some interesting people along the way. Even in the car, that surprised me. We still pulled in. And
you can still talk and interact with. You can get out of the car and walk chooch, get out and turn your driving chooch into a walk chooch at any time.
Yeah.
At any time you want. You see a fascinating area. But what do we learn as nomads? We learn the lay of the land, where it's kind of good, where it's bad, where the food is at. You got a little bit of an idea of what's going on. A little bit of a feel for it, you know? So I know Rosie enjoys her walking chooches. I've always enjoyed the driving chooches.
Well, it's cool at nighttime because let's say you do the grand exploration and you get a lay of where you might want to be careful walking along that area, and then you come back in the daytime and then you develop that like a painting. You fill up the painting more with more detail, you know, about what's what. You hit a back alley, you check out what it's like. How you doing, JK? No cow.
And remember, with a driving chooch, Rosie can turn it into a walking chooch at any time. She sees an area that she sees interesting, pull over, park, and go walk and go interact with the people. You can convert it into the walking chooch. But when you're walking, it gets so. When you just continually walk, it gets so tiresome.
Hey, Captain Caveman. Yeah, his mouth is doing better. It's getting better. It's getting better. That was a pretty big hole to fill.
The thing that I was just trying to stress to Rosie, when you just do a walking chooch, you run out of gas physically within a 5 to 7 mile radius. That's all you're going to be able to do. You're going to be done after that. You'll be in pain.
Katie.
But if Rosie were to incorporate a driving chooch with a combination of walking, not only can you cover more ground, it's easier on the body, and there's actually more content. I mean, you could say if you do a 6 hour chooch, you could be 1 hour driving and 1 hour walking. It could be alternating.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could be a combination. It doesn't have to be all driving. You see it in an interesting area. And,
Deborah said hi, Elvis.
This is my opinion, you know. And Rosie knew when I was in Tijuana. She kind of knows my style of urban exploration. She knows I like to pop my head in the place, see what's going on, and if it doesn't interest me, I'll walk back out. The problem is when you're walking, you're at the mercy of your physical body. And after 5 to 7 miles, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I'm done for tonight.
I don't think I've ever chooched more than 7 miles. It's about my outer limit. You saw that. You were like, wow, we walked all the way down Circus and around that whole property.
At any time, Rosie could have parked her vehicle and got out and converted it into a walking chooch. At any time, she could have said, you know what, I'm going to drive 1 hour. I'm going to get out here and walk for 1 hour.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I wish. Like a combination. Let's have a vehicle to lean on. Let's have some cold drinks in there.
Let me get. It'd be fun to chooch with JK one time. JK no count. We could grab some nails and pound some nails in with our heads out there on some abandoned buildings and stuff. You got it. Walking is good for you. Well, walking is a very healthy exercise for a body. How about today's weather? Like perfect, huh?
Yeah,
my allergies are up a little bit because of the dust blowing around.
It's overcast.
Yeah,
it's overcast.
It's not going to be hot today.
It's not going to be hot because it's overcast. Yeah.
Now tonight is the meetup with Live Screw Las Vegas. I have no idea who's going to be down there. I'm looking forward to seeing him, giving him a big hug. He was wonderful to take time to stop at the Rancho there, so it's going to be good. I don't know who I'm going to see. I'll just meet some new people.
I look forward to meeting Live Screw and Four Scores. I don't know who else is going to be there. I think there's another guy.
Four Scores will be tomorrow night. I think he's on his way today. We might be able to meet him up tonight, depending on how tired Four Scores is. I might see if he wants to chooch tonight or something like that. If he contacts me, that would be fun to do that. Maybe we'll get him out on a little bit of a chooch.
I think we need to like kind of see the map of Vegas and see all the main streets to go through. I mean, just to get an idea.
I just think he doesn't come to Vegas that often. Just to maybe just strip chooch or something.
Oh, okay. Strip chooch,
park and then do like
chooch.
a mile down each side with him because he's going to be tired from flying. Stuff. So I'll get together with him. We've exchanged digits and everything. Well, hey, how you doing, McFly? Yeah, walking chooches. Yeah, he has lost some weight. Absolutely. Yeah. It's almost impossible when you're really eating just once a day.
Well, this is what I just wanted to ask the people about. This is my main question. If people could vote for a chooch, right? Well, we're going to meet
up tomorrow night with Vegas Fixin'.
There's three different kind of chooches. There's a pure walking chooch, like Rosie does. There's a pure driving chooch, like I like. And there's a combination of walking and driving. In other words, you could drive 1 hour and walk 1 hour. And I just want to poll the audience if they could just vote. If you guys, as subscribers, followers, whether of mine or Rosie, if when you see a live stream, would you like to see if you want to see a pure walking chooch, press 55. If you want to see,
take care, pineapple.
If you want to see a pure driving chooch, press 66.
People see what they want to see, Zur, okay?
And if you would like to see a combination of on the same stream live simultaneously of driving and walking, press 77.
Catcher on the Rye, how are you? How you doing, almost stupid?
So 55 for a pure walking chooch, no driving. 66 for a pure driving chooch, and 77 a combination, driving and walking. All the mods, everybody vote. Let's see what people say. I'm going to say the combination. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I've never successfully. Well, we got 55s on there
let's see what people say.
Yeah, 55, 420. That's funny. That's funny.
I'm going to say that 77.
Well, look, I mean, I'll do. You know, I don't know if I'll park a while then walk, but going on the night drives are cool. Then you develop an area. Then you come back in the daytime and say, "Oh man, did you see all those Latino
let's go take a walk and check them out.
Let's go down there today."
It converts. In other words, the daytime helps you do the preliminary check, and then you can come back and say, "You know what? Now this would be a good daytime choose. Let me come back here." You know, like you said.
So I don't know if I'd park and then move, but I would find an area and go, 2 miles one way and then 2 miles back. Boulder Highway would be ideal. But I'll tell you what, probably every road, Sahara, Tropicana, Flamingo, Spring Mountain, those they'd all be good. And then you get your cross streets, Maryland and Charleston and them, so it's good.
Personally, the only area out of last night that I would have walked chooch would be the Tropicana, where the Latino restaurants are at. There's a lot of different Latin eateries to show there.
Thank you, Erica.
I don't particularly find residential areas interesting, but I do find areas that have businesses interesting, like you say, Chinatown.
For me, finding like parts of old Vegas, they're going to be gone. Right. They're going to be gone in a couple of years, I'm sure. Like the Shangri-La, built in 1939, 80 years old. I can't find anything older in this city. That's like, to me, like, wow, how does this place survive down here in the midst of all of this stuff? So I do like finding old Vegas and creeping around alleys and things like that. We can drive chooch ourselves. Rosie gets deep into the areas. Yeah, that's a point too. Walking makes us feel like we're there. Rosie is great with camera views. What do you think of this? This Samsung does a good job. This S10 really lighten up the night and good stabilization. Sometimes it's hard when a camera's not stabilized. It starts to affect your mind. I think, let's see, I love seeing the Shangri-La was really cool, wasn't it? Thank you, JK. Said crystal clear. Yeah. So I even enjoyed watching the replays. The signal only buffered like 2 times last night, which sadly it buffers right in the heart of the strip down there by Planet Hollywood down there, and it's like, man, the one place you would think that you have the most strong signal,
There's at least.
it's like
Right.
busting up the stream. Yeah, when you vlog, it's timeless. Lots of love old architecture. So do I. I just think to myself, I'm going to capture this because this is going to be gone one day. And a bulldozer is going to go through there, and it's literally going to level 4 square blocks of downtown. And then you're going to see the plans revealed for something big. I know this guy's hatching something big down here, around there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go about 5 more minutes or so. Let everybody have the final word here. Maybe get a donut or something like that this morning. Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say in closing, that maybe all the Rosie fans and moderators are going to say pure walk chooch. Well, if Rosie keeps to that, and if she doesn't drive chooch, then she's not going to be able to get ideas to get you guys new areas. It'll just be the same thing over and over again. And if the Rosie fans are okay with that, but with me, I'm just a fan like you guys.
No Coney dogs yet, McFly.
Like I said before, I'm a fan just like you guys, and I want to see Rosie as a fan do things that are different and variety and not repetitive. And that's just my opinion, and that's why I just want to see her do something different. That's why I talked about Mexico,
Absolutely,
drive Chooching, and that's where I stand. So
yeah, there you go.
In my
Oda,
opinion,
nice to see you this morning.
in my
Okay.
opinion, once you've seen something one time, it's time to move on and
right.
show something else.
You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going over and get myself a Coney dog. That's what I'm going to do this morning. Walk right over there and get me a couple of Conies this morning to get my day going. Anyway, guys, thanks for being on this morning on the morning. Interesting discussion of Vegas and different chooching possibilities and stuff. So I really want to thank you guys for being on this morning, keeping it positive, which is always good. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. Take a moment on the way out, and thank you for all the ongoing support that I have received. It has been tremendous. Monique, nice to see you this morning. And you all have a wonderful day. Kim, Oda May, awesome to see you. Scottish, Tom Finland, thank you. And I thank you guys very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Woo. Have a good day, guys.